Welcome to another hsextra.com high school football video. My name is Joe Serrera, joined this week by Northwest Guilford Vikings head coach Kevin Wallace. Kevin, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Joe.
Your team is 1-1 in the Metro 4A, 3-2 overall. The two losses are to two very, very good football teams in East Forsyth and Grimsley. What have you learned about your team this season?
We've learned that they're green. We knew going into it we were going to be pretty green across the board. You know, having some sophomores playing, having some juniors that haven't played before playing varsity for the first time. So we knew that going into it we were going to be pretty green. You know, I think we've learned, you know, my big preach to them yesterday at practice was, you know, failure is an end result. So if we only failed, we're good. We can first and fail standing for first attempt and learning and going forward. And I think we learned 2 weeks ago against Western, we can't get too excited before a game. And that's why we keep preaching them as being even keel. And then I think we learned against Grimsley, we got too excited in the first quarter when we were up 14-7 and we couldn't sustain it for a long game. I mean, I think we found some playmakers. I think we knew some going into the season, but we've seen some really develop offensively and defensively in those games. We got to start competing better in big time games. So that is a big push. That was something we looked at in the offseason as a coaching staff, and that's something we got to start doing.
What does that entail? How do you get your guys to do that other than experience?
Experience, teaching them the situations, trying to get them to focus on just what we're in at that point, that play. If it's a 3rd and long, we got to worry about 3rd and long. We can't worry about what happened 3 plays ago because I think we start doing that as our players worry a little bit too much about the play 5 plays ago that they didn't execute perfectly or they messed up on or something like that. So we got to just try and teach them and educate them of just keep going forward, keep chipping away at what it is. You know, and we got to learn how to play from behind and not get so down just because we're down a score or down 2 scores. You know, I mean, at that point when we're down Friday 28-14, I mean, there's still a lot of football left, and our kids, I don't think understand that they can come back from that. And it's just educating them on it. It's not easy. It's easier to do it when you've gone through it and you can see it. Which we prefer not to happen. But, you know, we're just trying to educate the kids on it, take them through the situations and practice and get them to focus on what they have to do one play at a time.
That's the downside of a young team. The upside is you got to be pretty excited about what you guys have built and what the trajectory of this young group is.
Yeah. We knew about 2 years ago, right when that season got over, we were like, okay, we have a group of kids coming up that are very talented. And we still have some kids coming up in the pipeline coming up. They're going to be freshmen next year and some that are freshmen right now that we think can be contributors next season even. So right now, I think we got a good wave of talent coming up that can really help propel us moving forward. I mean, realistically, we'll lose some linebackers next year that are going to hurt.
Xavier Simmons is a huge player on both sides.
Dylan Kessering inside. You know, they're both all 2-time all-conference players that are really going to hurt us. But I think we have some kids. I mean, at least offensively, we'll lose a slot and a tight end, and the rest of them return. I mean, we're going to return 9 starters and possibly less than that with just some younger guys that might win out positions next season. That we kind of rejected. But we'll see. You know, I like the upside. I mean, we like to have the competition between kids because I think it only makes us better. So even with our young kids, even looking forward to next year and even right now in practice, there's some young kids challenged and some upperclassmen. I think only makes us a better team.
What is your team doing well right now? You've won 3 football games, so you're doing some things well.
Yeah, we've hit some explosive plays. I think that's what we've really harped on. I mean, you take away the Grimsley game, I think defensively we've done pretty well defensively, especially against the run, which was kind of a shock when we came into the Grimsley game that they ran the ball so much or were able to run the ball. Just because our linebacking core and stuff like that, we think are very solid players. You know, we're a little bit small on the D-line, so we're trying to move people, shift them, slant them, angle them away, stuff like that. But you know, I think we've hit some big plays. We have some potential to stretch the field vertically on both sides, usually, and not just with one person. I think Trent Cloud and Bristol Carter are both phenomenal receivers. Bristol's a little bit more raw than Trent, but Bristol I think has some jets that he can really stretch it, and Trent can stretch it vertically too. And he's done great. Both have done great for us. I think they're both really close to 500 yards receiving. in 5 games. So, and Tanner Blue has done a good job. He plays like a sophomore at some plays, makes some really great plays. You see that potential, and then he makes some really bad plays, and you're like, okay, you're a sophomore playing in your 4th, 5th varsity game ever. We get it. Against some good talented teams too, So we got to clean up the mistakes and the turnovers we've done. We've had some stupid penalties. And we got to cut back on our turnovers in a game to succeed in those big time games moving forward.
Game Friday night at Marion Kirby Stadium against a Page team that's won its last 2 games, both in the Metro 4A, and a team that it seems like they struggled in the spring. They went 0-7, but they seem like they're getting better every week. Maybe not the best time to be playing them when they seem to be getting better every week. But what do you see from them as you prepare?
Hey, I mean, if anyone that's around football knows that Doug was going to get that thing going at some point. They're a tough team. They can run the ball. The running back's really good. And we kind of knew that even going into last year, even though he didn't play, that they had him. And I know he's out injured last year, but I mean, he was a heck of a runner as a freshman and sophomore and stuff like that. And then the young kid playing quarterback, all over the place, and the one return. And I mean, they're going to run the football, and that falls into one of our 3 accolades that we say got to be a tough football team to stop the run the football, and then cover on kickoffs. I mean, we think those 3 things matter to us. So we got to really step up our game, and they got great coaches over there, so they're getting coached from the top down, every position. And it just shows us they're getting better each week, and winning the first 2 conference games. I texted Doug after that first one. I was like, and I'm sure it's kind of like a monkey off his back after going 0-7 in the spring stuff. And, everyone that's around knows that he's a heck of a football coach, and it was going to happen. I mean, he was going to get over that at some point. It was just when it was going to happen. So
it's going to be a good game Friday night. I'm going to be out there covering it. I look forward to it and to seeing you. Wish you luck Friday night and going forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.